Well, last week, before any of this broke in State College, we set up an interview for today with Penn State running back Silas Redd. We sent one of our producers out to do that interview with Silas. Clearly, the situation has changed since then, but Redd was kind enough still to sit down with us today, to sit down with our producer and provide a little insight into this last week for the Nittany Lion players.
It's been a hectic week, a real hectic week for us. A lot of distractions. People trying to watch our practice, tape our practices, and just get any little information they can from the people inside the program. So just a real distracting week.
What has your team been talking about up to today?
Regardless of everything that's going on, with the university, our focus has been Nebraska. Strictly Nebraska and focusing on this game and getting this win.
Today you woke up and you received a text message. Tell me about that and the feeling when you got that.
I was in my 10-10 class. It was a text message and it said mandatory squad meeting at 11. Initially there are no happy thoughts when you get a text like that, especially during a week like this. And it was kind of, you just knew something bad was gonna happen.
When you came in and sat down before Joe Paterno spoke, what was the team feeling like? What were you guys discussing?
It was silent. It's just the aura in the room was real, almost eerie. You could tell that people were upset and emotional.
What followed the silence?
Joe, he started speaking to us. He didn't flat out tell us right then and there. He kind of warmed up to it. And, I found myself looking around and looking at coaches and looking at my fellow teammates, and there were tears, there were frowns. Just no one in that room took that news lightly.
What's part of what he said to you? What's the part that sticks out? What he said to you that you'll always take with you throughout your career, throughout your life? What I got from it was that. As men, it's our job to stay in good character and treat people with respect and treat yourself with respect. And, the values that he instilled in us, for me for 2 years now, I know I'll be telling my children and they'll be telling their children. And it's not every day that something a man says to you sticks that far into your life. After he talked, what happened in the room?
We stood up and gave him applause. Some went down and hugged him, shook his hand. Then we had a position meeting with our position coach and kind of like a debrief, just kind of talked about it a little bit more.
You talked about how your position coach was actually recruited by Joe Paterno. Talk about that.
Yeah, he was pretty emotional. Like I said, or like you said, he was recruited by Joe in high school, and so they go way back, and you could just tell that he was upset.
What's the talk about Joe's legacy? What's his legacy that he's leaving here after this week and all of these allegations coming out?
I said before that Joe came here when he was 20-something. So all Joe knows is Penn State, and all Penn State knows is Joe. He raised his children here. One of them is on the staff. He has a library. He has a trophy named after him. So his legacy will continue to live on, no matter who's our coach, no matter what happens to the university.
What do you do now without Joe Paterno as your football coach? Who do you play for?
Well, we still play for Joe.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. He's still part of this team, and he's still the leader of this team. And we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
If you can put into words what it's going to be like without Joe Paterno as a football coach next year, going to media day and there's no Joe Paterno.
That's kind of it. Just you don't really know what it's going to be like. It's going to be weird. I really couldn't tell you. I really couldn't.
What have the students been saying? What have they been talking about?
It's just kind of like a long-lived Joe Pa sort of theme throughout the student body. From my Twitter, people said they have our back no matter what. They're still behind us. That's what great fans we have. They're still behind Joe, and I can tell you this Saturday is going to be pretty rocking.
If you can speak for your team, kind of have a message for Joe, what would it be?
Well, we, Penn State players and former players, I know they would just want to thank him for everything that he's done. We all love you, and we'll continue to love you. We cherish the times that we've had together, and he's still our leader, and we want him to go out on top, because for such a selfless man, it's a shame that he's been provoked to make a decision to put the university and what he feels best for the university over himself. And just want to say thanks again, and God bless you.